Welcome to the webinar. Please stand by. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
CEO and founder of both companies, and today we're going to have a live trading room open to trade stock and options using our technology. Before we begin, let me know if you guys can hear me and see my screen. We'll begin shortly after. Kirill, hello, Martin, Desi, Beck, Fred, Lalit, Mark, Bill, loud and clear. All right, very good. How are you guys doing? Let's see how's the guys on the Discord doing. Let's see, they're back. Let's get the Discord going. MD and Microsoft. All right, make sure that sharing screen. Raster is back, Cherry Blossom is back. Very nice. Okay, then let's start. Welcome to Tradespoon and Yellow Tunnel. My name is Vlad Karpel. I'm CEO and founder of both companies, and today we're going to have a live trading room open to trade stock and options using our technology. For those of you who are new, welcome. This is my brief bio. Welcome on Alon, you there on YouTube? Yep, Alon is here. Bob is here. Larissa is here. All right, so welcome on YouTube. Please, if you like the content, please subscribe. If you like specific video, please hit like. We would greatly appreciate that. But welcome on Discord. Welcome on YouTube. Welcome on GoToWebinar. This is my brief bio. For those of you who are new, I think the main difference between Yellow Tunnel, Tradespoon, right? Those are the two companies that I'm running, managing, versus other services out there is that we concentrate both on live trading and building technology and building models using latest innovations in AI, neural networks, modeling. So we have a team of financial engineers that are building models, providing signals and opportunities in the market, short-term, medium-term, long-term. And then we use these signals to actually trade in a live trading room. That's what you're part of. And that's a unique experience. I've been doing that for over 20 years. We have Keith, who's been doing this for over probably 20, 30 years. And then we have Scott. So a little experience that you can get in our live trading rooms using our technology. And that's a unique proposition, right? Usually you either see market makers that are using, existing tools, existing methodologies, or you have signals. Disclosures are very important. Please read current market conditions. I encourage you, if you're new, to visit the link on your screen so you understand the risk associated with trading stock or options. And you can always pause the screen if you need more time to read the disclosures. Main point that I'm not regulated by FINRA or SEC. I'm basically showing you what I do in my own account based on my own risk tolerance level for general education and information purposes only. Should not be assumed that the picks or signals will be successful or profitable in the future. That's the main gist of the disclosures. All right, trading psychology is important. I encourage everybody to have a trading plan, right, with written down rules. Most important rules in my mind is risk management, right, to know how much cash you have, how many positions, and what is the position size. Once you master those three things, right, then you can become a successful, consistent trader, right? The goal is to be consistent, write down the rules where you can give it to another trader, another friend, and they can just follow your steps, right? So rule number one that I would write down is cash. We already have a pretty steep pullback, right? In technology, 10%, NVIDIA, 20%, over 20%. So we don't know where the end. Right today we have FOMC meeting that could spark a strong rebound in the technology name, or it could be a continuation, kind of sell on the news type of an event, because everybody anticipates that Fed will cut rate in September. So I would propose, in case market does correct further, you have 30% of your portfolio in cash. In terms of portfolio drawdown, number of positions times position size, right? So I propose if you starting trading, start with 4 positions and don't risk more than 2.5% of account value per position. How do you determine 2.5% of account value per position? You use in our AI tools like spiders. It turned negative, so the model still turned in negative because spiders kind of following QQQ, but on QQQ it's actually still negative. Let's see, semis. One of them got reversed, I think, yesterday. No, still negative. Okay, after the yesterday's sell, so still negative, but oversold, right? So for spiders, going into today's event, FOMC meeting, we have Microsoft earnings, from last night, AMD, Starbucks. So model is negative, basically saying 542 is your support, 532 is overhead resistance. Let's look at the pre-market. AMD is up 10%, and Spool and NVIDIA is also, I think, up was 8%, right? So basically showing that the sell-off is overly exaggerated and any positive news in the market rebound, and it's pushing Google, Amazon higher. Microsoft actually turned flat. It was down as much as, I think, 6%. Bar chart. So, at least initially it was a disappointing earnings on the cloud. Same thing, similar to Google, that they're spending a lot of money on the on the cloud, but not getting a return on the investment, right? So you had a sharp sell-off all the way to 390, right? That's the strike price was selected, but now it's rebounding back. So we'll see what the end result. Let's look at where the positioning is. And AMD is up 8 to 10%. So that could spark a rebound, right, in technology that they're oversold, especially with such a sharp reversal in Microsoft. But we still can't forget that at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, and more importantly, the follow-up conference with Jay Powell will impact interest rate and probably will have more impact on stocks than Microsoft earnings, right? We still have Apple and Amazon, but this is something to consider. So 2.5%, let's see. Let's look at that 2.5%. Bob, present, attending. All right. So yeah, so the highest position was at 400. I selected 390 as a strike, right, on that put butterfly. On the put butterfly, 395, right? So, and a long strike and middle strike 380, that it's not going to break 380. And Microsoft, got exactly to that point. But now on AMD, right after AMD press conference, it had a sharp reversal, right? Sharp reversal, kind of ignoring all the press conference news, and buyers step in. Granted, it's a very low volume, so when the market opens, that would be important to see. So In terms of spiders, 2.5% going into the FOMC meeting are negative, right? So, granted, the stock market is oversold, but bears are in control, right? That's what it says. Market is oversold, bears in control. Spiders jump to 548. It needs to close this gap, right? This second gap. We have a first gap and a second gap. So I would watch where we're going to close today, right? After FOMC meeting, if we're above 555, then the short-term downtrend is reversed and bulls are back in action, right? At least consolidation, at least sideways market, right? Until I think the top is set, honestly, especially in February. I mean, sorry, we're in August, usually sideways market. September, usually bearish market. From seasonality point of view, elections year, usually it's different, a little bit, can be a little bit different. But I would say top is set, right? At least for now, until we break through this level, top is set. And bears are in control as long as we're trading in this range. Last week low, last week high, and the gap this week high, right? If we, after the FOMC meeting, if we are able to close the gap and get above this gap, we're trading sideways. So this is scenario number one, right? Scenario number two, after the FOMC meeting, we break through the 538, right? We tested it once, tested it twice. We could break to the downside. So I would use somewhere between 530 and 520 is your stop level, right? 530 and your 520 if you're not day trading, right? You probably usually don't day trade around FOMC meeting, right? Or, I mean, some people do, but then they use volatility, right? That's after the FOMC or I would consider for long-term trading using either 520 or 530 stop loss. So 530, there's not much distance between 530 and 538, right? It's 1.5%. So at this point, probably 520. 520 is a pretty sharp pullback, 30 points, right? So about 3%, 30 points, right? On longer term trading. Shorter term trading, you can use maybe 540, 538. So use maybe 10 points for day trading. So 10 points on a $250,000, $25,000 account for day trading, that would be 25 shares. And then 30 points would be 6 shares. So that's how you would determine 2.5%, right? On longer term trading and on day trading, that would be 1% of 25,000, right? So magic number on minimum for day trading is 25,000. Average, if you hold in position overnight, the average account is $10,000. So the risk is $250. That's the most important part of the trading plan. All right. Meanwhile, let's see. Usually I wait 15 minutes to decide on where the price action. In terms of modeling, right? If you want to see what the model basically indicated, you can find it in Aggressive Power Trader. So railroads, regional financial, regional banks, and energy, right? Again, strong rotation. Stocks market is oversold. QQQ was oversold, bouncing back. SEM is up 5, QQQ is up 2%, and Dow Jones is flat, right? So, and let's see, small caps. Where are the small caps? And small caps are trying to break out. So you still have the strong rotation trade where semiconductors, right? NVIDIA sold off 25%, but small caps rally, 25, not 25%, 10% from its, recent lows. So that rotation trade is still on, and in terms of signal, we're still seeing that the signals are in regional financial, CSX, and ExxonMobil. Today, after AMD earnings, AMD is up 8%, Starbucks is up 5%, and Microsoft is turning still negative, but way off the session lows. All right, so let's look at so I did. Actually, I'm out of silver. So yesterday, with anticipation that Fed will lower interest rate, I bought silver, right? Added to silver, 25.90. 88, 9, 26, so 40 cents, right? 1.5% rally, short period of time. So I closed this position. I'm out of this position, but still long silver. And I did close QQQ put spread yesterday, right? We closed the QQQ put spread with anticipation that the QQQs are oversold and can bounce. Still have Spider's put spread as a hedge. And then let's now manage Microsoft put spread and watch. I mean, usually first 15 minutes, you kind of get an idea. Now that you have a lot more volume, you can get an idea of let's see, we have one data point, where it can, go from here. Let's see. Let's push that here down. All right, so we have Microsoft, we have PayPal, Starbucks, and AMD. All right, AMD, we did 155 call. Let's see, AMD, how's AMD doing? Bouncing back. So AMD, I think we did the middle strike was, let's see, what was the middle strike? If you were at the closing bell, 160, right? So we have 155, 160 call spread. AMD is volatile, so I would wait and see what happens with AMD. British Petroleum is up 35.35. Let's see what the Pfizer is down 1.5%, so it pulled back. Let's see, Microsoft is down 2%. And Starbucks is up to 80. So Microsoft 390 put, 26 cents right now. So AMD is trying to break out, so that's interesting to watch. Let's look at AMD. So AMD, the idea is where's the high open interest and to which price level can it gravitate toward in terms of expectations. So we do have a lot of positioning around 165, right? Biggest position in 160. right? And it starts at 155. So you know, if you look at the monthly, there is a lot of call buying at 160 level, right? So AMD could gravitate toward 160 as it's breaking out. So one way is to, since I do have 155, 160 call spread, you know, just keep closing the 160. Because the bulls can push, right? If dealer are short the gamma, if they're short the gamma, then it could be kind of as a gravitational force toward 160, and then it could stop, right? Or it could actually stop to 175. It just depends, I think, at this point on FOMC meeting. Any questions? Starbucks up 4%, Microsoft is down 1.5%, PayPal is up. I do have that PayPal call, 65 call, that's doing well. Let's see, where's PayPal gravitational force? So it's trying to break out. So same thing, I kind of closed the short call of the butterfly in my personal account. And let's see PayPal, where are we gravitating towards? 80. 67, let's see, August 16. I mean, negative Anna, I mean, it could get to 73 strike, right? 770. This week and next week, we still have a lot of calls. This is 67, I believe. 68, so 67, right? Next level is in terms of high open interest is 67 with monthly, yeah, 67 and a half. So we could continue to gravitate. 67 and a half. Let me know if you guys have any questions. So now we have 15 minutes. Okay. AMD continues its march forward. It's been 15 minutes. Let's see, Microsoft down 2%. Let's see how's Microsoft doing. Microsoft now started to pull back. So we'll see if it can retrace some of the losses, some of the gains. Okay, questions. All right, sorry, let's look at the questions. Bob attending. NCLH. Bob, did you do NCLH? I know you were talking about this last night. Well, it's actually reversing it. So far, it's given up all the gains. How's the market doing? So it's closing the gap. JP Morgan is flat, Tesla is up, UNH is down, Apple is up, Nvidia is up 8%. Japanese yen, right? Bob, yes, talked about yesterday, FXI, right? Whether it makes sense to invest. I mean, obviously the federal government, I mean, they're interfering. It looks like it's trying to break through this downtrend on the high volume. And, you know, from what I read, is that they're still going to continue interfering and, you know, raising interest rates. So dollar is down, Japanese yen continues to rally, EWJ continues to rally. So I think that trade has legs and FXI could be breaking out, right? So, I mean, obviously you want to wait till FOMC meeting because that could reverse very quickly. But as of right now, it looks like it wants to try to break through that level. So Japanese yen, long Japanese yen, I think is something to consider. Gold is up, gold miners are up, silver is up, with the idea that interest rates will be cut and silver is way oversold. So I'm still long silver. LA Lilly, still a mute reaction. LA Lilly and VO is trying to rebound, find the bottom. We'll see if they're able to follow the other mega cap momentum stocks. What else is interesting? Interest rates, right? Interest rates are making new lows. So this is back to Besley. 2-year yield dropped, broke through the support level, dropping lower with anticipation that Powell will deliver on interest rate cuts. Next level is 3.80, right? I mean, 4 is usually a round logical number, but yeah, probably 4. First is 4. I would consider 4. This is right where we are. So if we drop below 4, then the next level will be December lows, 3.8. So it depends on Powell's speech. Will be close to 3.8 or back to 420, 430. So, but you know, dollar is dropping, yield is dropping. All of that is bullish for the market. High-grade corporate bonds are up. High-yield bonds are up. VIX is down to 16 handle. You know, still elevated volatility. People are a little bit concerned going into the FOMC meeting. QQQ, nice rebound. Is it above 50-day moving average or not yet? QQQ is trying to break through this week, last week lows. Obviously, next level is this overhead resistance. So bulls want this gap to be closed back, right? Ideally, bulls want to close this second gap, right? You have gap 1, gap 2. We want to close this gap. For now, we're still trading below the 50-day moving average, which is considered to be weak. Any questions? What else stands out? Crude oil stands out, pretty sharp sell-off. Looks like a double bottom, found the support in June, reversal. Crude oil is up 3%. Actually, ExxonMobil was on as one of the signals, right? If you look at the aggressive power trader, you can find ExxonMobil as one of the signals for today. So if you want exposure to energy, this is something to consider. And again, for Yellow Tunnel subscribers, you can find the earnings power trader that trades here under orders. So here's a Microsoft. Still have Pfizer, but Pfizer pulled back as well. All right, so let's see what else is there. Well, the event, right? Because another thing that is on the news is that what I read is that consumer confidence was negative, right? Consumer confidence was lower, even though here it shows higher, and that the jolts continue to be higher, right? Higher, trending lower. The job openings are trending lower. I mean, they were above the expectations, below the last, but the idea is that employment is decelerating, and then on Friday news is that employment is ticking up and higher than expected, right? So that could also create volatility. We have manufacturing data, and then we have employment. So close of Friday will be important to see if we can actually regain some of the momentum that we're looking right now, or this is kind of a head fake. All right, let's see. AMD continues to trade higher off the session highs. PayPal trying to rebound. Pfizer is down 2%. British Petroleum is at 35. Let's see what else is interesting. JP Morgan is flat. Tesla is up. Apple is up. Amazon up. And then we have Amazon, and I think Amazon is tomorrow morning, right? Amazon is tomorrow morning, and then we have Apple. Not sure, but tomorrow. So Apple and Amazon tomorrow. Questions? Was there a news overnight that sparked pre-market rally? I mean, AMD, the rally started with AMD press conference because it was up 9%. So I think that's one of the catalysts. We did have, I mean, pre-market, we were up, you know, like I checked 7 a.m. in Chicago. So, I mean, let's see. I don't have to guess. Spiders. Let's see when the rally started. $4 a.m. Yeah, so this is a Microsoft news, right? This is Microsoft news. It actually closed, and this is pre-market session. So it could be from overnight the earnings. I mean, it could be with there were CPI data. I saw CPI data from Europe, but I think people just kind of digested the AMD and Microsoft news because Microsoft also rallied, right, in pre-market. So I think it just, you know, mainly an oversold bounce, right? Mainly an oversold bounce because NVIDIA was up 5-6% last night as well. As well as AMD. Regional Financial pulling back. CSX pulling back. Let's see, CSX in 5 days, 11 million shares. NSC. NSC is a signal, but small volume. Regional Financials, ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil is actually a nice rebound. We have a double top here, but nice rebound from this sell-off. All right, let's review the rest of the positions and see if we want to make any adjustments going to the FOMC meeting. So what do we have? FXI, right? So extremely oversold. I think the long-term trend, I mean, in trouble, but I think still bullish. Maybe 2024 started kind of very strong, and we are right at the 50% retracement. So by definition, I think still medium to long-term trend is intact in China. Whether it's able to continue the rally, we'll see. But for now, I'm still holding the FXI position. It's a stock, so I have time. Bullish on small caps, right? Small caps could break out after the FOMC meeting, right? If we deliver and that's been the rotation trade. So you still have strong confirmed breakout in small caps. Overbought short term, you know, but the long term, the trend has reversed from downtrend to uptrend, right? Longer term charts look a lot stronger now. So you do have from the 2021 high up until today, you know, this downtrend has, you know, finally been reversed. So as long as it's trading above breakout level, then this is very bullish price as well. And that includes regional banks, kind of risk on trades. I did trim JP Morgan yesterday. Still have long position in JP Morgan. We talked about JP Morgan. So it looks like it continues to trade higher in strong uptrend. So that's JP Morgan. I think I have actually another half of the trade. So let's see, maybe I can close that as well. Because I've been trading around JP Morgan. Let's see, sell to close, 30 days. Okay, so I bought at 211, I closed half at 214. It's trading at almost 216. 216 is 2% profit, right? So I'm just repeating this trade again. Have half of the position, so maybe 2% is good. So maybe trim the JP Morgan. Very sensitive to interest rates, right? So it's going to be a large move. JP Morgan is either going to continue the rally or it's going to pull back. At 216.10, it's close enough. Let me see, 215.48, 53, 215.53, 15.60. Okay, so I closed this trade, right? So bought it on a pullback, out 2% profit, short period of time, a week. Still have remaining half of the trade. So JP Morgan, if it rallies, great. If it pulls back, maybe it makes sense to buy it again. So that's JP Morgan position. LA Lilly, we talked about LA Lilly, we talked about Microsoft. LA Lilly needs to find the bottom, right? It's kind of, I looked at this long-term uptrend, is still intact. So long-term uptrend is still intact. You have this moving, ascending 50-day moving average. So that's bullish. Obviously, a lot of it depends on earnings. So we'll see. But I assume that the demand for their drugs is still going strong and they just need kind of a positive catalyst, and it could be, it could be another AMD. Right, where any positive news and from these oversold conditions, you have a strong bounce. What else? Microsoft, the butterfly. I mean, it depends on FOMC. Right, it's been a volatile session, so we just need to kind of keep an eye on Microsoft. Sorry, wrong chart. Wrong ticker. On chart, on ticker, Microsoft. I mean, it's only Wednesday, and there's a lot of events, but for now, the trade is in trouble, right? Because, I mean, we need for it to drop back to 390. The only thing that can spark such a sharp sell-off is probably a FOMC meeting. Could be unemployment data, right? If unemployment has a big tick up, then the recession trade, right? Then people are going to talk about, well, maybe there is no soft landing, maybe it's a recession. But something has to change in psychology of traders. For now, I think it's either FOMC or strong uptick in unemployment, which is also an unlikely event. All right. Something happened at 4 a.m. 4 a.m., I think that's just when they start trading. If you look at the S&P futures, let me see S&P futures. Can you look at S&P futures? ES mini September 24. I think it was just gradual, right? July 31st, yeah. So this is the Microsoft earnings, right? Sharp pullback. And then just gradually climb up. It basically recover all of the losses by 12 a.m. just gradually. This is Japanese session, Japan. Yeah, just gradually keep on going as people are digesting the Microsoft and AMD news. trading on lower rates. I mean, the KRE trade is extremely overbought short term, right? It needs to pull back, right? So small caps are extremely overbought. Regional banks are extremely overbought. Value stocks are extremely overbought. They need to pull back, right? They need to consolidate, right? VTV is at all-time highs again. QQQ is extremely oversold, so this is why you have rotation back. How long this rotation is going to last, well, we'll find out by end of this week. If by Friday we're above 50-day moving average, right, we close the gap, then bulls are in control. It's a huge win for bulls. If by Friday we're still below 50-day moving average, then then there is more consolidation. Pfizer faded $30. So yeah, Pfizer kind of, I mean, it looked promising yesterday, right? So I do have Pfizer, but it reversed today to get value stocks. So, but it's still a pretty large position at 32 strike. So 31, 32, still high open interest. That hasn't changed. We just need a catalyst for the stock to push higher. All right, PayPal. Yes, PayPal is going the right direction. Yes. So the butterfly in PayPal worked pretty well. We have a 65 call, and it just keeps on grinding higher. So this is, pulling. It is pulling PayPal in the right direction, right? It's pulling PayPal to 68 level, right? And the first high open interest is 68, and if you take monthlies, 67.5. So it looks like it's pulling, and it's kind of a June high. All right, let's go. What else? Bob FCX, copper is oversold, silver is oversold. I did add to silver yesterday, right? I closed it. Copper is the same thing. It's promising, right? 200-day moving average, bounce back. I would wait for Friday interest rate. Maybe you give up some of the upside, but it does look like the bottom is in place, right? You want to see if the bottom is in place. And I think right now, bears are going to have hard time breaking through this level, right? 200-day moving average and the 2023 highs, right? 2023 highs. Let's adjust this guy. Yeah, so this looks like a strong support. Doesn't mean it's the bottom. Usually, no. Doesn't mean it's close to the bottom. Usually, yes. Right, I would say 70% of the time, then this is very close to the bottom, and you can have another leg down. Obviously, there's some negative catalyst, but the fact that it's consolidated for a couple of weeks, bouncing, that's a good setup. But keep in mind, if you loan FCX, you probably loan SLV, and if you loan both, you're probably overly exposed, right? Because the same logic applies to silver. NVO is bouncing back, yay. LA Lilly bouncing back, yay. All right, are we done with all the positions? Okay, we talked about Microsoft, we talked about Pfizer. What else do I have? We talked about silver and Spider. So I still have Spider's hedge. I think this week is very important, right? You probably don't want to have all your positions long. Even though we are above 50-day moving average, we're trying to close this gap. That doesn't mean that the market cannot get back to 530 or 520, right? So 530, 520 is still on the table. We're not going to know until Friday, by end of Friday. So for that reason, I propose to have, at least one of your 4 positions to be short, right? Especially that I trimmed QQQ yesterday, right? I mean, closed QQQ put spread. All right. Any other questions? It's 9:05. Earnings, well, I would wait till closing bell, right? Right now, the market is going to move a lot. What do we have today? Today is Wednesday. Boeing had earnings, right? Forget, nobody mentioned Boeing. Bob, I think Boeing was up actually, pre-market at least. Looks like Boeing, well, it's flat, but try to break out. So Boeing, flat. Let's see, MasterCard. How's the MasterCard? That's the proxy for spending. Yes, strong price action in MasterCard. Down, so people are still spending money on credit cards, right? So MasterCard is up, Visa is up. That's bullish. Consumer spending is strong. We talked about Altria, Teva Pharmaceutical, GSK. How the pharma doing? Teva. Okay, Teva's doing great. GSK. Glaxo, can't pronounce it. Glaxo something. Glaxo something it's not doing well. Glaxo, what is the name? Emma Walls. Glaxo something. Okay. What else? Earnings. So after the close, I don't see anything interesting. Not interesting, but Qualcomm. So we do have Qualcomm. Let's see, is Qualcomm following NVIDIA? Yeah, so Qualcomm is up 5% together with other semiconductors. Earnings after the close, the Western Digital earnings after the close, LRCF. So we have a few more semiconductors and storage after the close. Etsy is after the close. Nothing that can alter the course of the stock market. And tomorrow is a big day, right? After the close, Apple, Amazon, Intel, Square, Roku, Twilio, Snap. Before market, nothing exciting. ConocoPhillips is gonna have earnings tomorrow morning. Right. So ConocoPhillips is bouncing going into the earnings. Chevron bouncing back going into the earnings, and ExxonMobil bouncing going into the earnings as the crude oil continues to rebound from oversold conditions. Oh, Meta today after hours. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Wasn't on the list, but Meta is after the close. Okay, thank you. Yes, Meta is after close. Also extremely oversold, bouncing back. Important earnings. Meta and ARM. Okay, Meta and ARM. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you, Chuck. How's ARM doing? Also was sold off precipitously. I assume it bouncing back. Together with NVIDIA. Yep, up 6%. Okay. So AMD looks like pulling back. Let's see, Microsoft is actually almost flat. PayPal continues its move to the upside. I'm almost out. Am I out on AMD? Yeah, I'm almost out on AMD. Nice trade. Sorry, on PayPal. Let me close half of the position. Okay. So PayPal did kind of a strong follow through. So that worked well. Okay. I think I still have the other long calls as well. 71 call. take a look again at PayPal. We can get to 70. We can get to 70. We can get to 70. Any questions on PayPal? Now let's look at AMD. $155. 150. Next one is 155. And then after that, 160. Okay. Yeah, let's look at Meta. Implied move is going to be very high. Let's see, expected move on Meta. I assume around 10%, probably 15%. Let's say 15%. I was close, 12. 12, 13% implied move. But to 20%, right? 2 standard deviations probably closer to 20%. So a lot of volatility in Meta as well. AMD pulling back again. Let's see, is the market reversing? See, is the market reversing? No, actually the opposite. Spiders continue to try to close the gap. So spiders are up 1.5%, and semis are up 6%. All right, any questions? Okay, there are no questions. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Thank you. Scott tonight, yeah. I would wait for Fed to do the earnings, because after the Fed, I think volatility is going to spike. After the Fed, volatility is going to spike. So you don't want to place the trade before that. That's my opinion. Or at least maybe do half of the trade, and then if it moves, then you do dollar cost average. CAH. Cardinal Health. Yeah, Cardinal Health. Nice. Yeah, healthcare continue to move higher. nice rebound. Going into the earnings, medical devices. Still, I would look at the trend. Right, these trend lines are important. You want it to get above 200-day moving average and above this downtrend. As long as it's below that trend and below 200-day moving average, consider. Kirill, Bob, thank you. Martin, thank you. Alon, thank you. Discord guys, thank you very much. Appreciate your participation. Russell is back. Russell, how was the video today? Better? Sorry about yesterday. Discord guys, thank you. Go to webinar. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow morning.